Hi everybody, welcome back to 70 Yards Tiny Farm and More. And today we're going to talk about, I have always kind of wanted to grow herbs for medicinal purposes, of course for, you know, spices in our food and stuff, but I've kind of been interested in using herbs for medicinal purposes and growing my own. Okay. So we have been watching More Than Farmers, Michelle and Cody. Go check out their YouTube channel, More Than Farmers. And she has a huge garden. They have a huge garden, and Michelle likes to grow herbs, and she dries them and uses them for teas or medicinal purposes or whatever. But I have kind of been wanting to do that. So Cody had built her a drying rack that has probably, what, 6 or 7, they used screens that they had left over, and he just built the rack to fit the screens. And that gave me an idea. They have it in their root cellar, I believe, but we don't have a root cellar. But where there's a will, there's a way. So I made a couple of these screens. Very, very simple. Just used some trim pieces that I picked up at Lowe's, and then a roll of screen, and then I just stapled it on there. Super lightweight, very simple, and even a little ugly in some spots, but they'll work. So I don't have a root cellar, but I do have this little laundry room. So we have this tall cabinet that I was using to store like the brooms and Swiffers and that kind of thing, but I can figure that out at another time. But it'll give me room to fit 2 shelves in there, 2 screens. I live in Arizona, and it's very hot in this laundry room. This is not inside the house, it's outside the house, so it gets really hot in here. So I have a feeling our herbs will dry really fast. So it's a good start. I haven't even really started growing herbs, and I've grown a couple, but they're all dead now because of the summer. But we'll go on and take a look in the garden. We can talk about it. Little planter. It's a hand-me-down from a family member that moved and didn't want to take it with them. It's on wheels, so we can move it around. We've tried planting in this once or twice. A couple of issues though. One, it's not in a very good spot, because even though it is in the shade for most of the day, it does get the afternoon sun, but birds like to sit up here on this fence, and then as soon as something grows, they just snip it right off. So we're going to try it again, but we're going to move it to a different location on the patio. And like I said, it's on wheels, so we can wheel it out to get some sun. But we'll try this again for the herbs, and then we'll go walk out to the garden. The herbs that we do have right now are kind of looking pretty sad. This is what the garden looks like in Arizona in the middle of July. Okay, so we had a sudden gust of wind and couldn't hear anything, but that plant right there was mint. And there's another mint that's kind of hanging on. The rosemary is on its way out as well. And then that is what calendula looks like in the middle of summer in Arizona. That one had popped up on its own. I had planted a couple calendula plants just to attract pollinators a couple years ago, not knowing their medicinal uses and the good benefits they had. And as you can see, I'm kind of a lazy gardener. I let things go to seed, And well, I don't know if I would call it so much lazy, but Ken and I both still work full-time jobs, and so just having the time to garden as much as we would like is kind of hard sometimes. So that calendula popped up on its own, which I'm glad that it did. And I think some of the flowers went to seed again, so hopefully we'll get some more pop up here in the fall. But I was able to, in the spring, collect a lot of the sprinklers are coming on. A lot of the flowers off of that, and so I was able to get collect enough to fill 2 spice jars. I gave one to our daughter, and I kept one for myself. So that was really nice. I like to have that. We have a lot of basil. Because again, I had a big basil plant right here, and it went to seed, and then it died out. And so when I took it out in the spring, all of this basil just popped up on its own. I did buy this one and that one over there and planted it, but these here all popped up on their own. I had basil scattered. We gave some to our daughter to put in her garden. So right now I don't have a lot of herbs to dry. I'm gonna dry some basil and take some of that mint that's left, and maybe even a little bit of the rosemary before it dies completely. But I'm excited to have those screens so that I can do more with the herbs in the future, in the fall. Got some little pollinators out here. Gonna pick some basil. And all my other herbs look really bad. I might try to see if I can scavenge a little mint off that. And I think the rosemary's about had it too, but I'll see what I can do with the rosemary. Not much mint, but I guess I'll take what I can get. Yeah, I don't know, the rosemary's looking pretty sad. These are the best looking sprigs off of it, but that doesn't even look very good. Sorry, buddy. Accidentally snagged a bee. I don't know if you can see him. There he is. All right, that's probably good for now. Remember, I only have 2 screens. Whoops. All right, I got it all washed, which didn't take much because I don't use any pesticides or anything in my garden, and plus herbs are kind of naturally insect resistant. So anyway, got it washed, got it on the screens, and that mint looks pretty sad. We'll see how it turns out, but basil looks good. And beans that it's 110, 112 degrees, I'm assuming it's going to dry pretty fast. So I will check back in a couple days, let you guys know. And then in the meantime, I think I'm gonna kind of just leave this door propped open a little bit just to get some air circulating through there. But that's it. We'll see how it turns out. I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, so it's been about 2 weeks since we put the basil on the screens to dry. And you can see it's very, very dry. It's very crispy. It actually would have been ready after a week just because it's so hot here. But I just haven't had time to take it out and do anything with it. Here, and they dried really quickly. So now we will take the leaves off and kind of crunch them up and put them in a bottle. Okay, so you can see we have our dried basil, dried up really nicely. Like I said, it dried really fast in my laundry room because my laundry room is outside and it's not inside the house. So I'm just gonna take the leaves off the stem, try to get all the stems out if I can. And then we will come through the little food processor. I have a really tiny food processor. And sorry, this video has taken me a couple weeks to do. Ken and I went on a small little vacation. We went to the Grand Canyon, which was pretty fun. We rode the train, took the train ride from Williams up to the Grand Canyon. Spent some time just shopping and hanging out, just kind of relaxing, which was very much needed. So I'm just going to go through and take all these leaves off, and then we will put them through the little food processor. I'll show you that. All right, so here's my basil leaves and the stems. Just going to throw the stems away, and then we're going to use this little tiny food processor. I've had this thing for probably about 30 years. It's super tiny, but I like it because it comes in handy when you don't have a lot of stuff to do. You just I think that's working very well. These pieces are still pretty big. That's not working very well. All right, on to plan B. Okay, plan B. I've already done this a couple of times and it worked. That did the trick. That looks good. Okay, so these are just little jars from I think they're just the Walmart brand, the organic spices. They come in this glass jar, So I just take the label off, I save them when I'm done, and then I just repurpose them, and I'll just put my own spices in there. This basil smells amazing, by the way. And I don't know, I think I need a funnel. Let's see if we can do this without spilling it. I might have chopped it up a little bit too fine. I put it through the NutriBullet once, but then I wanted to show you guys, so I turned it on again. But it's okay. It'll still be good. All right, not a lot, but my basil plants are going crazy out in the garden, and so I'm sure I will have no problem filling this up. If I put more basil on both drying screens, I'm sure that will fill this up. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to grow more herbs, and I have some more of these little jars that I've been saving, and so hopefully I can just kind of replace all of the store-bought spices with my own, or most of them anyway. That'll do it, and we'll see you next time.